I just had 10 lakh rupees. I borrowed from 50 people 2 lakh rupees, 1 lakh rupees, and I paid 45 lakhs to the developer.
Okay.
Seeked a 1 crore 25 lakhs home loan.
Okay.
And I bought my house.
Got it.
You need a different metal to be a developer.
Yeah.
You need to be super passionate, sleepless ranger. A role of brokers cannot be disregarded.
Okay.
At Paradigm also 80% of our sale happens to brokers.
Got it.
In Mavi Nagar, Kandivali, we are coming out with a location where we are bringing Sobo to Sobo. We are bringing south of Bombay to south of Borivali. So I take absolute pride in my first 8 projects I delivered, we did not make money.
1 करोड़ लेट्स से 600 स्क्वायर फीट का घर एक ब्रांडेड डेवलपर के साथ या 700 स्क्वायर फीट का घर एक नॉन ब्रांडेड डेवलपर के साथ अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन है, कहाँ पैसा डालें?
Am I going to be heard? Is my problem going to be solved?
Okay.
And is my money safe? If I have the answer, brand is a byproduct.
They have always said कि यार पार्थ है ना JV बहुत करता है इसलिए इतना कुछ कर लेता है. And could you tell our audience how does the whole JV affair go?
So any land you buy in Bombay, you have a big upfront payment that goes up. A, it kills your bottom line.
True.
2, any variability or any external factors can really dampen your business plan.
Sure.
And 3, and the most important, Bombay does not have too much land, where collaboration is the way forward.
True. My question here is how difficult the task is. Could you break it down? What really goes into it? और ये सब करते हुए अंत में किसके लिए? What's the margin that you guys are actually making and what's the take home? So welcome Parth, and let me tell you one thing that on this couch at Sleepless Rangers, you're the first real estate developers I'm interacting with. The reason is I have not told you, and I wanted to keep this anecdote for this conversation. In 2015, I heard about you for the first time, and that was also the year when Insomniacs started. And in the 7th year, I got a recall when we posted 7 years anniversary. Your team also came out with one. So I was like, okay, this man I have known from the day one when I started. And during that time only we started working together on a project. So that is the fascination for you. And a lot of people keep asking me कि यार real estate में कौन सा developer है जिसको आप बहुत पसंद करते हो and whom you believe that long term में ना कुछ बड़ा करेगा. There I've always taken your name and there's some kind of admiration that I've always had. I'm thankful that you have joined me today as a guest on the couch. Welcome, Parth.
Thank you so much, Govind. And it's an absolute pleasure that I'm here with you today. And of course, we share the same work anniversary date. So yes, as your
The scales are very different.
No.
much zero zeros.
It's not about the scale. It's all the drive and the passion that Insomnia is bringing and the creative edge you're bringing to our industry. And so whatever we are doing on the manufacturing side, I'm trying to make good products.
True.
So we both are doing our bit in our own spheres.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Superb. And I hope that I've got too many questions for you.
Yeah.
And I hope our audience enjoys it as well, as much as I have enjoyed constructing them.
Yeah.
So let me come out with the first one. Who are you, Parth? Parth Mehta दुनिया के लिए अगर एक रियल एस्टेट डेवलपर है तो वो एक अच्छा आर्किटेक्ट साइड का पैशन रख रहा है जिसमें बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोडक्ट डिजाइनिंग पे बहुत फोकस है या वो कस्टमर्स के ग्रीवेंसेस को बहुत सुनता है और उनके प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करना चाहता है एंड दैट्स व्हाई ही वांट्स टू स्टैंड आउट और he is a guy who is very passionate about marketing their outreach. The product design has happened, but then it has to be marketed very well. Or he's a guy who's just bothered about कि मेरा sales वालों को ध्यान देना है, top line बनानी है. Or else in personal life, you're a great father or a great husband. Who are you, Parth?
Oh, interesting. In one question, I have to answer the entire orbit of what I am. So yes, I can say that I'm a simple middle-class family boy who's come from a 9x9 room to today creating about 5 million square feet of construction area across Mumbai.
Superb.
So God's been very, very kind that how a person who was freshly employed from a B school, doing a job for top real estate companies, worked for almost a decade and then started his own business. So I'm a guy who's seen right from drawing 75,000 rupees salary in 2006 to today having 350 people working under Paradigm banner and more than 2,000 people indirectly associated with the company. So God's been very kind and seen it all, been there. Last 18 years of my real estate journey has been fantastic ride.
Superb.
So yes, I'm in maybe 3-4 sentences if I can sum up. Who's Parth Mehta? As someone who wants to do good work, give affordable luxury to the city of Mumbai.
Sure.
totally focused into doing things absolutely in Mumbai because I'm a Mumbaikar.
Yeah.
Belief is that I come with that ethos that someone buying a 1 crore home also should get a feel of a 10 crore apartment. Someone buying a 5 crore home should get a feel of 25 crore apartment. How affordable luxury space we can disrupt, that's been our thought. Yes, having a good team, all this I couldn't do alone. My biggest focus is on getting good, like-minded, disruptive young people who carry the same fire in the belly, the same intuition, and the whole thing of learning, falling again, getting up, and growing and learning ahead. Work with those kind of people. Keep the energy absolute positive around me. Work with people who share the same vision. That's me. On a personal front, I have one wife, two parents, and 350 children. That is my Paradigm family. And I take absolute pride, and they all hold the badge of the company on close to their heart. And I can say that people who are hungry, uh, guys who are young, fierce, who have the energy to do something good, and even if they don't have the intellect of the world, but someone who's a good learner, Paradigm is a place that has given them the perfect podium or a launch pad to grow and survive and thrive.
Superb, very well said, and superb start. And I believe my team has already got the thumbnail. Somebody who started as at a 75,000 kind of a salary to a real estate tycoon today. And I believe many people in my audience, they will be able to connect with this story. They would want to be you. And I believe the purpose today for us to engage is largely that. But my observation also and my fascination or admiration for you has been about this particular aspect. When 2015, when you started, to 2024, when we are recording this podcast, there are very few real estate developers who have tried or who have even attempted or dreamt of making a dent the sort that you have made or you have created. With the millions of square feet that you have delivered, one of the recent narrative where I saw that you have 5,000 or 7,000 crore pipeline in production worth. And these are not the numbers that usually people who are starting at around 15 and within 9 years, they get to. What has been the difference between the other stories and yours?
So, Govind, that's an interesting question. Being a first generation entrepreneur, I was really blessed to work with organizations who had a good value system in place. And that was the true university for me to get my cult right in terms of what is the right things to do.
And could you name 2 or 3?
Sure. So in my professional career, after my B school from SP Jain, I did my MBA. I joined Vadwa Developers. I was fortunate to work under very dynamic promoters who had a right value system in place. They were hungry. They were aggressive. In that market, they understood how to get from a small redevelopment company to large developer in BKC, in Ghatkopar, in Malad, in Borivali, Pan Mumbai rather. And that time I learned that how capital is not the only thing that you need to be from a good to great developer. It's your passion. It's your intent to deliver good stuff. It's something that you keep your value system, that you don't cheat anyone. So all those ingredients were there. Plus, when I joined that organization, there were a team of 40 people. I saw it growing to a team of 400 people before they split, etc. and all. But what I could see is I was very lucky and blessed that they let me put my hands on various things. Right from holding a bag of a promoter to acquisition to construction to getting into business development to getting into redevelopment of societies, understand approvals, legalities, and to ensure that how they're able to manage their cash flows, look at sales part. So in that 3-4 years, I was able to touch my hands into so many things because it was a growing organization. I realized and I was immediately awestruck that, boss, this is the place to be. This is the place where every morning I get up with a spring in my feet and move forward. I had never any intent to be a developer. Let me make it clear. Though I'm Gujarati, I'm a business family. My grandfather was one of the older contractors in Mumbai. They've done multiple buildings in Mumbai as a contractor. But after he expired, my father was not in the same line. So I chose to work for an organization. So after that, I realized that I could do something better for myself. That's when I became a CEO of a company called Panini Developers, BKC. They were a team of 11 people. I grew the organization to 150, 200 people, did almost about 7-8 projects with them in the span of 5 years. uh, took the sales to almost 2,500 crores.
Yeah.
And I was very happy that I got a podium where I could learn all the tricks of the trade and develop business with all freedom which an entrepreneur could get. So
Super.
these two roles of my 7-8 years made me realize that every time there is end of the day one feel that you get, that स्वर्ग जाने के लिए खुद मरना पड़ता है. So as a from entrepreneur, I felt, I think if I could do for others this well, it's a time that I could take a leap of faith, do something on my own. That's how 2014 the bug of Paradigm came in.
Yeah.
And in 2015 we founded Paradigm with a team of 3 people: my driver, my accountant,
Super.
my wife was the co-founder and she handles certain portfolios.
Yeah.
And with a small rented office where we were barely sure that we would just be able to pay 1.5 lakh rupee rent per month.
Yeah.
And we were sure that we can pay for 6-8 months. By then I'm sure कुछ ना कुछ project तो चालू हो जाएगा.
Wow.
So that was the journey.
Yeah.
And we were not equity heavy.
Yeah.
We were not well capitalized.
Yeah.
But we kept our business theory very simple.
Yeah.
We'll keep it lean.
Yeah.
We'll get into joint venture, JDAs, association, collaboration.
Yeah.
Of course, after coming 9 years from a job background and having a network, I was fairly confident पैसा तो खड़ा हो जाएगा.
True.
Investors आ जाएंगे. If my value proposition is right, my intent to deliver is right, my intent to share is right, and my larger goal is in place, I will be able to attract capital. That much confidence I had, and God had been very kind that after getting 50 rejections, also the 55th person gave me money. So there were few anchor investors who put the leap of faith in the organization. That was the starting point. So I called Paradigm 1.0.
Okay.
In that Paradigm 1.0, we got into 2, 3, 4 developments across Khar, Santa Cruz, Borivali.
Got it.
And we were very kind. We only kept one intent: to turn around projects quick.
Sure.
In maybe small projects under 18 to 24 months, mid projects between 24 to 36 months.
Yeah.
And we kept that intent high. So, and that was the starting phase where Paradigm 1.0 came up. Okay. And after that, a lot of institutions, banks backed us.
Got it.
We did development management for a lot of top developers in Mumbai. We did JVs and collaborations. So that was the 2.0 avatar. Teams kept adding up from 3 people to 20 to 200 and now 350 people. And what I believe is your energy attracts your tribe.
True that.
If you keep the larger intent that the pursuit has to be good, your delivery has to be good, and even if you screw up a delivery, even if something goes wrong, you're not God. You're not making an iPhone where 200 phones comes out from the same die and everything is okay.
Yeah.
You're dealing with brick and mortar.
True that.
You're dealing with 20 agencies. Things can go south, but owing to it, standing by it and correcting it, that takes a lot of wits. True. So I kept my company's value system that even if you all make mistake, उसको सुधार देना. किसी के घर में पानी आएगा तो रिपेयर कर देना. कहाँ पे कुछ कार पार्किंग नहीं चलता है तो उसको रिप्लेस कर देना. But what you've committed, you deliver. True. Because I came from one value system with my granddad taught me कि लाइफ में समय की चोरी कर लेना, व्यवहार की चोरी मत करना.
Wow.
समय की चोरी का मतलब ये है, as a businessman, timing can go plus minus. True. Your good times cannot hamesha remain. Your bad times will not always remain. True. But you are the only one who's going to remain across waves. Of course. So you honor your commitment. Time, don't worry. 6 महीना 12 महीना ऊपर नीचे होता है. True. But whatever you have committed, even if it's not contractual, you complete it. So some instance I'll give is today after 5 years of delivery also, one of our project, car parking system didn't work. We spent 3 crore rupees and we did the entire car parking system again because the agency got bust in COVID and he was not available for any repair or maintenance. We changed it. Got it. Today after 7 years also, one building or maybe 6 years, some terrace waterproofing leakage work happened. We spent 35 lakh rupees and we got the leakage done. Whereas I'm not in RERA. I'm not obliged to do it. I'm not legally, contractually able to do it. But our logic is no. People have bought flats. True. A building cannot leak in 5 years. You have to get it right. We'll repair it. So those are the things which we gave it more importance than money and did not try to put blame game that this is not our role or this is not our role. If our name is attached there, our brand is on the building, we have to do it.
Super. We are hearing and listening to you. There are so many questions. While, of course, the fascinating story when you talked about the bootstrap kind of a start. I didn't know it. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure a lot many people that I know, because the last season was dedicated to only startups. And these stories are there, but very few that I could cover where the success also was there at the end of the journey. And you are one sort of a narrative a lot of people can take inspiration from. My question that follows on what you just said is going to be, what's your end goal? The guy who started in 2015, he was working with somebody, for somebody. And 2015, you knew that, okay, this is what Paradigm it is. What was your end goal then? And what has it evolved to today?
So, like I said, I was a de facto transition from a top level CEO and a director of a company to an entrepreneur. I was a transition which happened very gradually and unplanned manner.
True.
When I started, the logic was to take limited work, do good work, be a boutique developer,
Sure.
and be a problem solver.
Yeah.
Where that time I got into the most tough time of the market.
True.
When we entered, Subodh Kumarji changed DC rule. My second year of business demonetization.
Yeah.
Third year of business,
I know.
NBFC crisis, and all the cycles. Blah. I don't want to repeat the cycles because we all have spoken about it. One thing happened is, in that we realized that we were going on developing the projects.
Yeah.
So I take absolute pride in my first 8 projects I delivered, we did not make money.
Okay.
So why I take pride in that is it taught us everything that we don't have to do.
Got it.
So
that's your 1.0 version.
1.0 version. We didn't make money. We barely met ends.
Yeah.
But 3 fundamental things we did right is we never did any settlement with the bank. Even in COVID, we never did a delay in a single installment.
Sure.
We never took a single delay or a litigation with buyers where delivery date was concerned, with or without RERA.
Super.
And we delivered on time. And every building of ours was delivered with OC. So our objective was we'll reach finishing line.
Yeah.
We'll get 5 years where we'll cover up for all these days. So today we'll do the learning. The next phase we'll do the earning. So first 5 years was the learning phase. We did a lot of joint ventures, association, development managements, and we wanted to large scale work. We didn't want to be known as a person who's doing one small project in one end of the lane or a small micro market. We wanted to be present pan Mumbai. So 1.0 we were in Thane, we were in Ghatkopar, we were in Chembur, we were in Versova, we were in Borivali, we were in Santa Cruz, we were in Khar. 2.0 we realized that we can't be everywhere. Let's do focus business. So we are doing 80% work between Bandra to Borivali and 20% work in Chembur. So we realized we don't want to grow beyond that. Now maximum we'll do South Bombay, Worli, we'll do marquee projects, good particular iconic development. But otherwise 80% we want to stick Bandra to Borivali. We came with a fundamental. We don't want to take our car, go anywhere where a car cannot reach in 45 minutes to 1 hour. Okay. So that became,
so that you got optimized with the time.
So हमारे में बोलते हैं Lakshman Rekha.
Yeah.
एक boundary.
Okay.
वो set we did a very very clear demarcation that this is we don't want to do.
Got
no
it.
matter any opportunity comes, any kind of blue ocean is there, we don't want to do. So then we said in this area we will want to be a relevant player. 2, we want to be in all bucket sizes, 1 crore to 3 crores, 3 to 5 crores, and 8 to 12 crores.
Got it.
But 80% we want to be under 7 crores, 5 crores budget, because that's the true affordable luxury, 2 to 5 crores, 7 crore range in Mumbai, which will be a all season product.
Understood.
Second, in 2.0, we realized, Govind, is we'd want to not do more than 5 projects at a time.
Okay.
Where not more than 5-6 projects will be at a time, where 2 will be at that OC stage in that year.
Okay.
2 will be at OC stage next year, that is RCC stage this year. And 1 project at plinth level maximum.
And this is the optimization that you believe is for this phase of
this phase. So what we realized is by doing this, we were not overly leveraged and we were not overly committed to a project in one particular phase. Because every project in Mumbai requires a different capital requirement across various cycles. Plinth has a different requirement, RCC has a different requirement, handover has a different requirement. If our 5-6 projects are a different cycle, even if 1-2 projects don't do well, the elder brother can take care of the younger brother.
True that.
But at least we don't get stuck.
Okay.
Second, again, we believed in a thing, we'll never buy land. We'll take debt only once RERA comes, when construction, value creation, and where you're putting money into brick and mortar. Because my belief is you put 5 rupees in construction, you can collect 15 rupees.
Got it.
So only to hedge yourself against collections, or if a customer is paying late or a sale is happening slow and you don't delay 1 day post RERA as a delivery date, we are using bank debt as a facility, not as a birthright.
Got it.
So we kept our fundamentals clear so that we were not overly leveraged as an organization. So these were the few things that we looked at. And yes, importance of a great team. So Govind, today I can say that I am not an entrepreneur. I am a leader of my organization. I am the engine who takes care of my team. So my job, if you see my visiting card, is a chief mentoring officer. When I say chief mentoring officers, only because I have to create 10 parts in my organization. That's how Paradigm will thrive.
Yeah.
Paradigm will enter into 3.0, 4.0 and 5.0.
Got it.
I have to create a business setup where each one feels engaged, accountable, they are promoted, and they have ownership and authority.
Got it.
If those 4-5 ingredients are not there, alone I can't do anything. So I'm very happy that I have a team of about 12-13 HODs who have an independent experience of 15 to 25 years. So we have a collective 250 to 300 years of head of department experience when we take any decision, right from acquisition to delivery. So I am very blessed to have a team like that, and a team whom I listen to.
Of course.
Because a lot of times you as promoters, we feel we know it all.
Yeah.
So the better part being in a professional setup as an employee is you listen to the people who know more than you, or at least who have a different perspective of things.
Yeah,
so we are very blessed that we have a good team, and I'm able to maybe attract, retain, and motivate the team to continue with the shared vision.
Superb. And tell me one thing, why Paradigm? If you could have been somebody else as well, not just a real estate developer. And at the age of 60, what if I meet you, who are you going to be?
So why Paradigm? Interesting question. So yes, I feel, Govind, that as a company, what are we beyond brick and mortar is very important. What is the value add service that we are able to give?
True.
Is now the X factor, how brands will not just survive but thrive.
True.
So I'll put it other way. I'm a customer.
True.
I've got 10 developers in the micro market.
Okay.
Let's put, for example, Borivali.
Okay.
What is it that I want, and how does it get catered?
Okay.
So in today's time, I can promise you one thing, whichever my fellow developers, I represent Crore MCH as a managing committee member too, are all guys who are ethical. They all want to deliver. Who is relevant today are guys who are wanting to be there for the next 20 years. And everyone's doing a good job.
True that.
Whether it's 8 on 10, 9 on 10, 10 on 10. Everyone's doing a good job. Now in that, how do I kind of make it different as a paradigm? So we put it ourselves as a developer who is not just only giving homes, but what is the X factor we are giving?
Sure.
Like, for example, we take absolute pride that we in Borivali area also we give 11 feet height. We follow the culture of air, height, light, ventilation.
Okay.
Where a small cross ventilation window we give in dining. So your house has two side windows, has a cross ventilation. How we can have those corner windows, which give you that extra sunlight or that extra ventilation. How we are trying to work out a manner where they're able to give good parking systems, because we realize that people with mechanical parkings face problem.
True that.
How we are trying to create an experience that today, if my child is playing in a podium, I can see from my camera that he's safe. I don't have to put a nanny behind him. How I'm creating a child crash, which outside the child crash also person doesn't fall, kid friendly, does not get hurt. How I'm making those spaces safe.
Super.
How I'm able to give services post handover also. That now the 2.0 projects of Paradigm, we are controlling how buildings are to be maintained.
Got it.
How they should, their common areas are an extension of their living rooms. As prices getting high, premiums of government are high, acquisition cost is getting high, raw material cost is getting high, our houses are becoming smaller. How in that smaller place also, my building can be a signature of my own house.
Got it.
Areas, nook corners are meaningful.
True.
How different people with different community backgrounds, upbringings can spend time. So we are putting a lot of things that if I as a customer wants to stay in that building, out of 10 projects, how I would want to choose Paradigm as the home. So we are trying to differentiate in terms of our product, in terms of our planning, in terms of our quality, and in terms of our services beyond what we are delivering. Like for example, a agency which maintains the building for 2 years, we are being very candid that you have to keep this agency because they will make you learn how a new building is to be maintained.
True.
Like a small thing in Borivali, we are the first guys who are coming out the air conditioned elevator. Our logic is a guy who's buying a 5 crore flat in Borivali.
Makes sense.
He calls up and he calls his driver, or he goes to by the time he reaches podium, his shirt is wet. How we can give him that extra for people who are willing to pay a bit more maintenance.
True.
How we are, suppose a person calls up and in the entry posh, we are keeping parking for 10 cars or 15 cars. Why? You get a call, you're on the 30th floor. You call the elevator, you can't enter the elevator because your network will get cut.
True.
But your driver is down, he cannot keep roaming around down. 15 minutes per person can have a waiting area in the lobby Porsche. How that experience we are creating.
Wow.
Small thing like Amazon, Zomato, service guys.
Yeah.
Today, it's so important to have a 4-level security because everyone is a delivery person. How they are restricted from my main lobby?
Yeah.
How are the owners and guest lobby? They are not there. They have a separate lobby, separate entry exit, well controlled.
True.
Their boxes are put in a space not in your main lobby,
Yeah.
where the servant of the house comes and picks up, or if they are permitted, they are allowed to go up.
Got it.
What is the controlled environment of security I can give?
Wow.
These are the things. We've also started an initiative. We have a lot of SRA projects.
True.
Where how in that vicinity, people staying in those SRA projects can get jobs in our complexes where we are building.
Got
So
it.
can someone become a dhobi?
Yeah.
Can someone become a cook? Can someone become a teacher?
Wow.
Can someone become a household help where we are able to give them service? So this part of the Paradigm Foundation part, well, bit on the CSR front also, we are trying to see how we can make the lives better.
Yeah.
These are the few initiatives that now we are conducting
True.
that we feel we'll be able to do well. Number two, most important, why Paradigm I can say is, though we are a mid-sized organization, we've not left our touch and feel at ground level.
Okay.
I tell my team, you can make 10 mistakes.
Yeah.
Just ensure you make a new mistake every time.
Don't repeat.
So
Yeah.
in that, what happens is today we are not perfect.
Yeah.
How we can remain agile, how we are absolutely frugal in our thinking, where if any feedback we get,
Yeah.
we can improve.
True.
The logic again being is we don't want to be the best developer competing with anyone. We want to be better than what we were in our last
Of
project.
course.
And if there is a mistake, take it up to on your sleeve, roll your sleeve and solve it. Because we are not perfect,
Yeah.
but we are here to hear you. We will solve it for sure because I have told my team profit is a byproduct of your reputation.
True.
We have to ensure our reputation is not touched
True.
when our name is on the line. So
Absolutely.
I think these are the things where I can say that people who have invested with us or are thinking on investing, their money is safe, it will grow, and we will ensure that we will give them a product.
Yeah.
But today, my brief to the team is that if you remove a Paradigm brand,
Yeah.
it'll be any of the top 5 developers building, they should not be able to say that it is not of that. So
Got it.
I won't say whether I'm making better buildings than others, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely saying that I'm not making an inferior building to the top guys. That's
Very
about it.
brilliant, yeah, Parth.
Yeah.
Very inspiring. And I believe the narrative at Sleepless Rangers for me also
Yeah.
is to bring these stories out, the kind of hardships I have personally seen the good developers who are trying to put. And the stories are not known to everybody. And somewhere in this cluttered world of marketing, so many communications going, some fine, small, important things
Yeah.
are getting missed. And I'll love to go deep into those conversations as well.
Sure.
But right now, it's time for me to do a signature question that I have this
Yeah.
year in my format. So the narrative is very simple. You are Parth, but you're not a developer, Parth. You're a Parth who's a customer. But all the knowledge as a developer Parth has gained is passed on to this customer Parth. Now, he has 1 crore. The series of options I'm going to give, you have to pick one. Okay. So can I start?
Please go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
1 crore in equity or in a real estate project. Where will you put it?
I'll put 70% in the real estate project
Okay.
and 30% in equity.
Okay. 1 crore in western part of Mumbai, western belt of Mumbai, or it will be Navi Mumbai.
I'm a sure bullish person of Western Mumbai.
Okay.
While saying that, I don't disregard the potential of Navi Mumbai and the
Yeah.
exponential growth that the new Mumbai is having.
Yeah.
My belief is that historically where land supply is less
Yeah.
and where already, so let me put it other way.
Yeah.
It has taken 25 to 30 years for a Hiranandani Powai to become a destination.
Yes.
And today it has become.
Yeah.
It has taken 100 years for a Bandra to remain relevant.
True.
Or a Valkeshwar or a Nepean Road to remain relevant.
Yeah.
So now these are the destinations where communities, people have stayed for years and generations.
True that.
Like my family stayed in Khar since 50 years, Santa Cruz Khar. So when anyone who's doing well in his journey of life, they don't want to leave the area of influence,
True that.
area of connection, area of cohesive network and
Yeah.
community living.
Got it.
So I believe that these areas which have been there for far and too many years are always going to grow. Why an apartment in Manhattan, New York
Yeah.
is at $5,000 or $8,000 or $10,000 a square feet? There is no space. So I believe value will lie in suburbs.
True that.
However, incremental exits for an investor will also be in suburbs.
Got it.
Because there are more takers than supply.
Got it.
Navi Mumbai, I will call it for people who want to live a good lifestyle, who want a gated community, who want a pocket-friendly budget, larger space, because connection of Mumbai is now anyways going to become good because of the new railway development and the connectivity. But personal opinion as a customer, if I have to buy, I'll put my bet in suburbs, that to Western Mumbai, that to between Bandra and Borivali.
Done. So Bandra and Borivali, you are saying, I'm going to start from there. Bandra mein ek chota sa ghar, like how many square feet that would be? Let's say 120, 150, I can take it?
No, Bandra mein chota sa maybe 500 square feet.
और मैं 1 करोड़ में वो भी खेल रहा हूँ।
1 करोड़ में तो
150 बहुत हो गया, 150 बहुत हो गया, राइट? हायर साइड।
यस।
एंड बोरीवली में मैं 1 करोड़ का एक थोड़ा सा बड़ा, अच्छा खासा बड़ा घर मिल जाएगा कंपेयर टू व्हाट आई एम गिविंग इन बांद्रा। दिस कस्टमर पार्थ इज गोना स्पेंड हिज मनी वेयर?
अगर मैं गुजराती मारवाड़ी आदमी हूँ, कांदीवली बोरीवली डेफिनेटली।
ओके।
अगर मैं पंजाबी आदमी हूँ, या तो समन फ्रॉम फिल्म इंडस्ट्री और फ्रॉम एंटरटेनमेंट इंडस्ट्री, ओशीवारा एंड गोरेगांव और लोखंडवाला इज माय चॉइस। एंड अगर मैं प्योर पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी से हूँ, देन आई विल चूज ओशीवारा और जोगेश्वरी, वेयर आई विल गेट, सो आई विल फील it all depends where you want to be.
What is my requirement?
But I will say all are good in their own way, because if you see a few places in Kandivali Borivali command the same price as Bandra, and few places in Bandra are there which are very small in size, which don't meet the budget. So you see the size, price, budget, and you can select where you want.
ठीक है, मैं थोड़ा और कॉम्प्लेक्स करता हूँ इसको।
Done.
पार्थ है, अब रियल एस्टेट डेवलपर है, उसको घर खरीदना है, पर बजट 1 करोड़ है, अभी शुरू किया है Parth, right? Where is he gonna go? Because business or network and everything that you said is there in Bandra to, let's say, Santa Cruz.
Yes.
But and then you are just married, right? And like I'm talking about the start. So there's no kids, nothing. What will be the scenario then?
So good. So assuming I don't have kids and we are a married couple.
Yeah.
And we've got 1 crore rupees.
Yeah.
I would choose somewhere between Goregaon and Oshiwara.
Okay.
Because it gives me a central location where I can do my work.
Got it.
And place in a nice way where I can connect with my people.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of entertainment hub. You can't forget that Andheri to Kandivali is the most dense suburb of Asia.
Of course. Yeah.
So I would like to be where the action is,
Got it.
where connectivity is. And if my work demands to travel across the different zones of the city suburbs, I would not like to be very far. But my second best option would be Kandivali Borivali.
Superb. Now let's get back to Parth being the customer only with the knowledge of a real estate developer Parth. And here my question is, Thane, let's take it. I always take Thane because वहाँ पे number बहुत easy हो जाते हैं.
Sorry, this was again real estate as a developer or as a customer?
No, now you're back to being a customer, knowledge of a real estate developer.
Okay.
1 crore, let's say, 600 स्क्वायर फीट का घर एक ब्रांडेड डेवलपर के साथ, या 700 स्क्वायर फीट का घर एक नॉन ब्रांडेड डेवलपर के साथ अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन है, कहाँ पैसा डालें?
So I will say if I'm in 2024, where I'm governed by RERA, IBC, NCLT, and the courts are doing fantastic job where my capital protection is there, I would put a brand of a developer secondary.
Okay.
I would put it that do I get a good product, good plan, and great amenities or my requirement in a building? To a grade developer 600 square feet or a B plus developers 800 square feet in the same budget.
Okay.
So I would choose, if my product plan and location is taken care, then a B developer also I don't mind a problem, provided I would do a checking whether developer is credible. He has a financial backing.
Got it.
He has the ability to complete. Does he have a track record of any incomplete project left and halfway left it?
Understood.
If that is not there, thoda bahut 19-20 chalta hai, but I would go with a B plus developer because it will fit my budget and ticket and all. And third is, I will always believe to go to a developer where I'm heard. Because I believe real estate is such a thing that ऊपर नीचे होना है, कभी मेरे इंस्टॉलमेंट लेट होंगे, कभी उसकी डिलीवरी 6 महीना लेट होगी, कभी मेरे को घर मिल गया होगा, उसमें छोटे प्रॉब्लम्स होंगे. Am I going to be heard? Is my problem going to be solved?
Okay.
And is my money safe? If I have the answer, brand is a byproduct.
Got your point. And the last part of this question, if you are a customer but you have to put this money as an investment into commercial property, would you love to invest 1 crore into a commercial property जो भी स्क्वायर फीट मिले, compared to in fractional ownership nowadays? 10-10 लाख रुपए आपने 10 जगह पे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर दिया, but the idea and objective is investment so that I can have good yield or returns. What and where would you invest?
If that office is not for my business use or professional use,
Yeah.
I'll definitely do a fractional ownership.
Okay.
Because I don't want to live with a headache कि कल rent पे चढ़ा नहीं चढ़ा,
Yeah.
maintenance का मैं कैसे भरूंगा,
Okay.
how my bank installments will be paid.
Got it.
Am I getting into a building where 1 year I will not have a tenant coming in?
Got it.
I don't want to take a punt that if business or share bazaar goes ऊपर नीचे, that depends whether my occupancy of my office is there or not there.
Yeah.
I would leave it to an expert
Got it.
with a credible company
Got it.
who has got a diversified portfolio, and I would love to have a fraction ownership, which should give me a return between 12 to 18%.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Chalo, superb, superb. So I believe the audience will get their insight out of what reasons to make. So let's continue. You being the customer, and एक बहुत बड़ा question. A lot of customers I have seen, they have always asked us, or we have seen in social media being discussed, कि यार मैं कोई भी लोकेशन है, let's say बोरीवली ले लेते हैं, वहां पे एक स्टैंडअलोन बिल्डिंग में इन्वेस्ट करूं जहां पे केवल एक बिल्डिंग है, अम्यूनिटीज नहीं है, एक मिक्स्ड यूज में करूं जहां पे कुछ अम्यूनिटीज भी हैं, नीचे शॉप्स भी हैं, that is what, and maybe 2-3 buildings are together or maybe more, or should I aim for a place or development which is very large, is a township, or in a way where I know that okay, closed ecosystem mujhe milega. So the same part, the customer with the knowledge of real estate developer, now what would be your choice?
So Govind, interesting question. I would like to break my answer into 4 buckets of priority.
Okay.
If I am a couple who has a working target area of, let's say, between Andheri to Lower Parel, then where I would be. Second, I would put it that if I'm a small family who loves a gated community, but my travel is not big a concern. I don't mind traveling much, but I want to give a particular lifestyle, space, amenities, open areas, and a community living to my team. 3, I would put it if I'm a elderly person, aged person, been there, done that in life. Where do I want to be? Children living with me or nuclear, where I would be. And 4th, I would put it otherwise, that I'm an aspiring entrepreneur, where I would like to, where I've done well for myself, and I want to be in a place where I want a certain level of hip and hop and understanding of that I've made something in life, and I want to show off that boss, I'm there in the right place, I've arrived. Let's put it other way. So again, the first part is where if a young couple is staying, I would like to put it anywhere between Oshiwara to Borivali. Only and only because of the best schools being in and around, right from ICSE, SSC, international schools. The most amazing hospitals being around. Connectivity to the chief area where me and my wife are working is between Andheri to Bandra, or maybe Lower Parel, is all between 30 to 45 minutes, 1 hour drive. Amazing connectivity by trains and metros. So I would put that as an area where in this I get a standalone building also, no issues. Now, if I am a slightly person who has a larger family, wants to have a community living, wants to be there in a lot of greens, etc., I would choose a Thane. I would choose a Mira Road. I would choose a slight away location, which gives me a slight larger premise and bigger communities if I'm a affordable guy. Because in that, a person gets bigger house, more number of family people, lesser budgets. And as a man of the house, I don't mind traveling a little bit.
Because my family is in comfort.
Exactly.
Sure.
Now, third criteria, if I'm a person who's 50, 60, I've been there, done that, achieved a lot in life. I would love to stay between Bandra and Lokhandwala. Whether it's Juhu, Ville Parle, this side suburb, or maybe from eastern side, Ghatkopar or Mulund. Because that's the place where a person of my livelihood, people who are, a lot of clubs are there. I'm into the retiring phase where a lot of my friends or my family people would be staying. My kids are either staying with me or they moved out. So this gives me a slightly good place. There are good gated communities which you get in these areas, which you'll be able to stay. And 4th, I would put it where someone who's really made a lot of money in stock market and his business, etc. I would put it Worli, Mahalakshmi, Bandra is the locations which has the snob value also, has a sense of arrival also, has a sense of me getting into a community where less is more. And being with people who share the same kind of lifestyle aspirations that I want to have. So I would put it as in 4 different buckets.
And what if I tell you that one of the largest problem, and this is a real problem, at least in the north market that I've really seen, customers का सबसे बड़ा problem ये होता है under construction home में पैसा हम क्यों डालें या ना डालें. One of the largest problem is plenty of news and stories कि यार कैसे अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन होम के अंदर लाखों लोग आज इंडिया में हैं जिनका पैसा फंसा हुआ है
Yeah.
और they are not able to do anything about it. Of course, RERA has come in right now, but still there is a possibility in percentage. लोगों को डर ये रहता है कि यार अगर हमने अभी नहीं खरीदा तो बाद में महंगा पड़ेगा. But isn't it inflation adjusted? ये एक कस्टमर के क्वेश्चंस हमने देखे हैं बहुत. Again, you being the customer, how would you take this call and the punt on under construction narrative? Would you take it? Would you suggest something else?
So I will say, okay, let me give you my own example as a customer.
Sure.
In 2008, when I bought my house
Yeah.
in Santa Cruz,
Yeah.
I just had 10 lakh rupees.
Got it.
I borrowed from 50 people 2 lakh rupees, 1 lakh rupees, and I paid 45 lakhs to the developer.
Okay.
Seeked a 1 crore 25 lakhs home loan,
Okay.
and I bought my house.
Got it.
In 2014, when I moved into a slightly larger apartment,
Yeah.
I sold the same house for 3.9 crores. Now,
Of course.
I'd put 10 lakhs equity.
Yeah.
My wife had put 3-4 lakhs. I had put 5-6 lakhs. We both bought the house.
Yeah.
I was just going to get married. Just before that, we thought we should have our own space.
Super.
We took a leap of faith. We took a loan at 8-9% and we honored and we took a property,
Yeah.
which amplified and kind of doubled in a span of 4 years.
Super.
I'm saying even if that's not the case, cut to 2014. Even if I would have if I'm a job going person, do I have 2 crore rupees or 1.5 crore rupees fully ready in my account ever?
Of course, yes.
Answer is no.
No, yeah.
I would have bought a car,
Yeah.
my child's education, my lifestyle cost, my EMIs, and other expenses. I would never have that chunk of capital being created.
Yeah.
To whatever said and done, inflation adjusted asset is only real estate.
True.
It always counts your inflation, and money lying in the bank account gives you negative return if it's not inflation adjusted.
True.
So my logic was that anyone who's buying a house, fear, insecurity, let's park for a minute.
Yeah.
The question is that yes, you should buy under construction house. If you're an end user or an investor, this asset class will never disappoint.
True.
It's true touch and feel. It is no fugazi money that today share bazaar is 40,000 or it's 80,000
Yeah.
and you can see things going up and down.
Yeah.
This will always be there with you. और मैं सबको बोलता हूँ कि तुम्हारी लाइफ पार्टनर धोखा दे सकते, तुम्हारा रियल एस्टेट इन्वेस्टमेंट धोखा नहीं देगा अगर कंप्लीट हुआ.
Sure.
Now let's address the insecurities.
Sure.
Like I said in earlier in the podcast, that you have to do your homework well.
Yeah.
If you've checked the track record of the developer, if he's giving you a good payment plan, and if you've negotiated a price where he's taking money in installments based on progress, the likelihood in today's times are very less.
Yeah.
But that does not take away from a black swan event.
Yeah.
We've seen many earlier.
Of course.
No developer wanted to default intentionally, but things go south.
Yes.
But fortunately, you're protected under laws so beautifully,
Yeah.
whether it's RERA, IBC, NCLT, that anyhow that building will be completed.
True that.
So my belief is that you have to take a leap of faith. You have to do your homework well. You have to read the agreements well. You have to look at the track record of the developer. You have to see whether he delivers on time.
Got it.
And you do your rain check with a lot of references in the market and
Understood.
take a decision. But the way India is moving, 2024 to 30 is a decade of our youth.
Yeah.
If we have not made certain decisions and not taken leap of faith,
Yeah.
we should not live with a regret at the end of the decade.
True that.
Because the way India is moving and shaping up,
Yeah.
believe me, whatever we are seeing now is just a start of an uptake, which is a very big bull run.
Of course.
I call it a bull run of a decade. In this, any asset class that someone is buying, which has a touch and feel, decision by procrastination is not going to help.
Okay.
Sooner you will make more money. And I take it as a thing that today my money is parked into a safe haven rather than it lying with me.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, पैसे का चटनी होने में time नहीं लगता.
Yeah.
But इधर एक asset create हो गई and you are going to either get a better house to live or a rental income. That's a promise.
Superb. And while you were speaking, it just struck me. I just made a reel for the audiences on the same channel that how my dad invested 11 lakh in 2000
Correct.
and what happened to his narrative. And yield के बारे में लोग हमेशा बोलते हैं 2 से 3% मिलेगा. कोई नहीं बोलता कि 20 साल बाद के perspective से देखोगे तो my dad is getting 48% on it, and then they are not talking about the multiplier effect on the appreciation. And while you said, and I realized I could have added into my reel, now I'm taking a opportunity, and that is कोई और एसेट क्लास में बैंक भी लोन नहीं देता कि तुम 10 लाख लेके बैठे हो और बाकी का पैसा अपने दोस्तों से लिया या बैंक से दिया एंड आप एक एसेट बना सकते हो. देयर इज नो अदर वैल्यू चेन. लॉट ऑफ पीपल टॉक अबाउट कि हम क्यों डाले, बट लॉट ऑफ पीपल डोंट थिंक अबाउट इट कि आप वो पैसा आपका है ही नहीं, आपको बैंक ने दिया, उसको आपने अगर ग्रो कर दिया और बैंक के इंटरेस्ट से ज्यादा appreciation yield का combination में possibility हो रही है, that's where this becomes very interesting.
Also, Govind, people forget that they are not always going to be having the age by their side, the energy by their side, and the youth by their side.
Of course, yes.
So with these three ingredients makes you take risk.
True that.
And makes you do things which you have not planned.
Absolutely.
As you grow older and you delay all this, that element of taking that
Risk.
leap of faith also dies down. So in your youth, it's important you're supposed to do this. It's a given thing.
Absolutely. I hope our viewers who are young age, 25 to 30 now, the data is saying 28, 29 is becoming a very regular average age of people buying. I believe there's still a possibility to, now the kind of money the youngsters are making, it will be possible. Now, coming to a very important question that I had in mind, and we have this again in the format. If you have to summarize 5 steps that got you here, or somewhere they are a butterfly effect or a chain reaction के form में अगर मुझे put करना है, तो what are those 5 events or things that happened that got you where you are?
So Govind, good question again. I'm thinking and answering.
Sure, take your time.
I can give you laser pointed answers. So I'll put it 5 steps. Either you're a hustler or not a hustler.
Sure.
When I call it a hustler, पैसा है नहीं है, चीज है नहीं है, resources है नहीं है, you're pushed against the wall, but still you want to do it.
Yeah.
You just want to do it.
Okay.
So it is not the target to be a billionaire or a millionaire or earn crores of rupees.
Yeah.
The pursuit to accomplish is the high and the dopamine.
पर वो कहाँ से आता है?
So it is inbuilt, according to me, is see, when you come from a middle class family and we want to live a good life, and you don't have anyone to fall back on, you're a first generation guy, you have nothing to lose.
Fair.
So in that, I believe that if you have to live well. I believe that you are spending 10 hours of your life minimum working, and 4 hours of your life working mentally, spiritually, or back of envelope, or not in office. You have 14 hours connected in a day. The choice are 2. Either you do your best in that 14 hours, or you just spend the 14 hours.
Of course.
People who have chosen to do the best in that 14 hours are all successful. Relatability or relativeness of success is always dependent on someone can do it in 3 years, 5 years, someone may take 15 years, but it's surely going to come.
Of course.
If I'm questioning myself that what is the thing that had gone wrong and am I improving, am I learning, and am I agile enough to adapt to the new requirements that the market has, then success is going to be there by my side.
Okay.
Sooner or later. That's one part. Second part, I would put it like that is, what is the difference you are trying to make? Like if I put it in myself, 5 things where I got them. I realized there is a space which is a void in Mumbai.
Okay.
Where quality, affordable luxury is missing. So when I travel the world, whether it's Dubai, Singapore, London, New York, Tokyo, anywhere, I realize there's so many things that can come to Bombay. We have the demography, we have the age, we have the population, we have the captive use, we have the manufacturing as a country, we have the consumption economy, we have a kind of a diversified geographies in the entire country. So I believe that there are so many things that could come to this country which other countries have got it. So it is resonation and emulation that you could do it. And I felt that space could be a disruptive space that we could enter. I felt I could do that. Third part, you could ask is one part is my belief in the Indian story. So what happens? It's like if you're doing a job, you may be the best guy, hardest worker in the room. But if your company doesn't have a vision to grow and they don't have that the tunnel laser focused macro telescopic vision to grow, how much ever hardworking I am, it's not going to percolate to success of the organization or my personal growth.
Of course.
So it is a lot dependent on how the organization thinks.
Got it.
So if our company's appetite is to do good mid to large scale work, a kind of a diversified development which caters to all segments across the paradigm, whether it's under 1 crore, 1 to 3 crores, 5 crores, and now we are entering from 15 crores to 75 crore apartments also into super luxury in Palil and Carter Road. Now in Mahavir Nagar, Kandivali, we are coming out with a location where we are bringing Sobo to Sobo. We are bringing south of Bombay to south of Borivali, where we are bringing in a gated community which are going to be at par or with likes of everything that you see in Worli, Prabha Devi today or Mahalakshmi. That gated community is coming in Kandivali. If they can be 1 lakh rupee or 80,000 rupees, why here can't be 50,000 rupees? People want to stay in this area only. So we are bringing what is the X factor that they are having there that we can't have it for our Kandivali, Mahavir Nagar people. So it's a drive. So I'll say the destination was not important. The drive to do better than what you've done last is again a factor.
Okay.
Fourth thing is, again, I said, is the teamwork. Can I attract, retain, motivate, and keep my core team as a family member where they don't have to worry about anything or any insecurity, and they consider the company like their own.
Okay.
They give blood, sweat on it, and they wear the company's badge on their heart and on their sleeve.
Got it.
And I give marks to EQ than IQ.
Got it.
So loyalty and emotional connect to the organization and the company's shared vision is far greater than intellect
Of
and
course, yes.
and kind of your experience. And last, if you put it like that, what's the good thing is that I feel that as a youth of this, being a part of the youth cult of Mumbai, I'm barely 38. I believe that there is so much that we can do here, which is so important in this line where today we are the biggest contributors to GDP.
Of course, yes.
It doesn't take too much to make a good product. But if you have the intent and the drive to make a good product, I think there are more than any takers. This business is the only business.
Yeah.
Tell me in Mumbai, every building that is delivered in western suburb, more than in 100 flats, more than 2 flats you will not feel where lights are not on.
Yeah.
98% of the flats lights are on. What does it signify? You have to build, it will get occupied.
Got it.
So you are entering a business which is pre-sold.
Yeah.
You have to reach the finishing line, and it's a autopilot consumption business.
Yeah.
Now, important is how you diversify or distinguish yourself from boy to man,
Of course.
from good to great. That's the secret sauce.
No doubt about it, यार. And now that you are talking about, आपने एक चीज बोली कि बहुत अच्छा प्रोडक्ट बनाना इतना मुश्किल भी नहीं है.
Yeah.
But let's discuss this part. As far as I have seen, मेरे से like a lot of developers when they engage with me, my team ask, यार कभी real estate development में आपको कभी होगा क्या? मैं सपने में भी नहीं सोचूंगा, right? Because even if I get money wherever it comes from, I don't think I have the courage to get into what you guys do. And the amount of negativity that the real estate fraternity developers do end up getting because of whatever reasons, of course, there are legit reasons as well of non-delivery, non-performance. But my question here is how difficult the task is. Could you break it down? What really goes into it? और ये सब करते हुए अंत में किसके लिए? What's the margin that you guys are actually making? And what's the take home?
So, first part I'll answer, Govind, is you need a different metal to be a developer.
Yeah.
You need to be eccentric.
Yeah.
You need to be super passionate, sleepless ranger.
Yeah.
And this is the only line where every morning I get up and my agenda is not fixed.
Yeah.
कौन सा तीर किधर से लगे? Every day there's a new problem.
I'm sure.
So there is an excitement of something new, but at the same time there are so many things that need to be addressed in a city like Mumbai, where you are so dependent on an external environment, whether it's the political environment, the business environment, the economy environment, the cash flow environment, your preferences of your buyer changing environment. You build a product in a particular era. Example 2020 के बाद छोटे flats का era चलता था. 1 bed, 2 bed. 21 के बाद COVID के बाद सबको बड़े flat चाहिए. You started a building, you conceived something, suddenly the requirement of the market changes. How do you remain relevant in that? It's a very tight rope. So it's not a business for weak-hearted. Two is you need to be ready to be pushed against the wall and still smile, hustle, and get your way ahead, that there is no option to look behind. You need to have absolute faith in whatever you are doing. You have to have only plan A that I believe in life. Your plan B is only a fallback, which has to come in only in case A doesn't work. But you have to be committed to your plan A. And more than anything, as a promoter or a leader of a ship, I take absolute belief there. I'm accountable to 3,000 to 4,000 homes, which are run with my decision making every month. So I have to be cognizant of not what only the company makes, but is the food going to be on people's table? Is the EMI going to be paid by my team? Do they live the good life? So for that, I have to think and take certain decisions. And it's a very tight decision rope, because somewhere you have to look at the business profitability and somewhere you have to do your bit right that you can pay the bills or pay salaries at the 1st or 5th of every month. So it's a tight rope, Govind.
It is a tight rope.
So your second part to your question was that what are the margins and all? I've been always very candid with everyone. All the youth wings of my business forums also I've been talking openly. So typically in this business, we have a 20 to 25% margin
Okay.
in suburb if we are doing redevelopment, SRA, etc. Provided you complete the building within a timeline.
Got it.
A small project 2 to 2.5 years, big project 3 to 4 years.
Got it.
Every year of incremental delay is erosion of, forget profits, erosion of capital.
Yeah.
Number two is we are committed by RERA deadlines, which cannot be very far.
Yeah.
If you put in a customer 8 years to deliver and you commit that you will deliver in 4 years, he's not going to buy.
Yeah.
If you're going to deliver in 3 years, you can maximum put 5 years.
True.
Because the customer also knows 1-2 saal chal jayega upar niche, but it cannot be 8 years or 5 years.
True.
So it's a kind of tightrope where you have to complete the building in a certain stipulated time. Part two. Part number three is that the whole thing, how I look at it is your cost breakup goes where you have, let's put it typically, a cost in an area where it's between Andheri to Borivali. Your cost of product is, let's say, 20 to 23,000 rupees per square feet landed cost.
True.
So that has about close to 8-9,000 rupees of construction on carpet, which is about 4,000 rupees on construction area because of all the bells and whistles and amenities, parking floors, etc.
Yeah.
Good 8,000 rupees per square feet, 9,000 square feet on premiums.
Got it.
So 2/3 of my cost is only construction and premiums. The other 1/3 is finance cost,
Okay.
admin cost, salary cost, site experience centers, your overheads, your electricity bills, your incentive to staff, your various selling marketing material mechanisms is part of the balance 1/3 cost.
Got
So
it.
these are the three things. So typically, let's say if my cost is 20 to 23,000, in that micro market, I sell anywhere between 27 to 30,000. So it's a 20% margin.
Okay.
If you try to increase the margin, the cost of interest or carry cost goes up.
Yeah.
And the project also has to be completed in a certain time.
True.
So rather than paying interest, we as developers also feel we give that pass on to the buyer, but at least have pre-sales in the system and get the project more equity heavy.
Got it.
So that's about it.
सुपर यार। इस पे ना एक दो क्वेश्चंस मैं फटाफट आपसे पूछूंगा। एक दिन है, आप उठे, बहुत ज्यादा तारीफ हो रही है, टीम को आपने पंप अप किया कि यार आज अवार्ड मिल रहा है, आज लोगों ने ये बोला हमारी ओसी है, एंड यू आर सेलिब्रेटिंग, एंड देन सडनली यू गेट अ मैसेज, बिकॉज आई नो यू आर वेरी क्लोज टू द कस्टमर्स एज वेल, यू गेट अ मैसेज कि सर मेरे यहाँ पानी नहीं आ रहा, मेरे हैंडल का नॉब खराब हो गया, दिस काइंड ऑफ कंप्लेंट्स कम इन. How do you shift and juggle between this euphoria moment to this smaller problem being tackled?
Totally. So I'll tell you again, you need to have a mental metal and an emotional angle. Both. It's a beautiful balance of both. So let me give you an example. First, 1,000-1,200 apartments which we delivered, we used to face these problems. We were also new in the line. Small issues used to be there. Any escalation to me, my top management, our CEO, our handover team, our projects team used to get. We used to address it, but it used to happen more inorganic way. फोन किया, प्लम्बर को बुलाते, आ जाएगा, 2 दिन लगा, 4 दिन लगा, लाइट गई है तो इलेक्ट्रिशियन को बुलाते. It was manualized.
Got it.
In that, what I started realizing is we are making a grade A product.
Yeah.
But again, it's not an iPhone or a Toyota car which goes in the machine or die and it comes out. It's dependent on a lot of agency. So snagging, de-snagging, handover के 6-12 महीने होता ही है. We all developers feel. No developer wants to make a bad product. No developer wants to cheat the customer who's delivering today. No one wanted to make inferior things. True. But shit happens.
True.
Things go south. So we used to also get affected. कि यार ये सब आ रहा है. We don't want to do that. So we look back. We got onto the drawing board and we said, how can we sort this out? So now in the this year we are rolling out where now we have an app that is going to come out.
Sure.
Where it'll be a centralized app with every handover of society. When any issue is there, they're going to put it down. The concerned team will automated within 24 hours send it. Whatever problems come typically comes within first 6 months or within the first monsoon of the delivery.
Got it.
So in that time, we are giving our team dedicated who's going to be a customer experience officer. Where that person will ensure that the direct agency who's done the work will finish it off.
Got it.
We are negotiating our contracts with all the agencies that your 5% retention will be there till 1 year of handover. You quote your tender based on that only, because it's not only about giving a good product, it's about ensuring the product works well also.
Of course.
So that you have to be available. So within 48 to 72 hours, automated that issue is resolved. Person puts it in the app, matter is over. Manual escalation to the concerned officer should only happen if it is not resolved within 72 hours.
Got it.
So we are trying to make that automated, point one. Similar thing, like you said, is now we are coming up with a software where brokerage is concerned. We are going to be not have a bill put up for brokerage or demands and all. It's going to be driven digitally, where the broker puts it into a format scanned copy goes. He knows exactly that it's 7-day, 15-day brokerage, accounts department 3 days, sales department 4 days, disbursement department 3 days.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to follow up with the guys. When am I getting my money? Whatever is promised, he can see it on his app. It's real time. So it gets more credibility.
Yeah.
And people like to do business where they don't have to follow up with people.
True that.
People like to do business where they don't have to complain and cry.
Of course.
If my work is done on a WhatsApp or on an app in 2 seconds, I don't want to pick up the call and talk.
Of course.
That's the future of this industry.
No doubt.
So how we are bringing in automation with a frill-free auto response is going to be the scalability difference.
Of course.
So as Paradigm, we realize that if every year we are delivering 1,000 flats, if we don't have these systems, processes and setup, we will fail.
True that.
How much intervention how much dependency can I have it on humans or my team? Today, team is there. Tomorrow, that team is not there.
True.
Guy who's delivered, he's not there.
Of course.
So I don't want those complaints coming up. So we are working hard. And this financial year, we should be in that position to have that automated. And the 2.0 version of Paradigm should be automated in a manner where customer grievance cell or customer experience cell both are automated.
No, without a doubt. And that's one thing that, I totally vouch for. That whatever that you know of me, one thing that technology is going to solve a lot many problems.
Yes.
As many developers who are coming forward, solving this problem, because technology only can solve the scalability issue. Nothing else can.
100%.
And I'm going to look forward to what you're bringing. So, Parth, based on what you just spoke, I wanted to validate one theory. A lot many real estate developers that I engage with today, it's not that they have validated it already, but I wanted to know your viewpoint. Do you believe there's a future in India where the real estate developers would love to own the overall experience towards the end of the journey as well, which would mean post-sales?
Yeah.
There are many developers like Rustomji, Brigade, Godrej who have made their efforts. They put their facility teams. And they're also promising their customers कि आपका घर हम नहीं आपको बस दे रहे, उसके बाद की भी जो 8-10 साल की जो जर्नी है और उससे ज्यादा की जर्नी है will be there with you. Do you believe it is adding to the trust to those developers or anybody who gets into it? And do you believe it is going to be a norm of a sort? Or you have a different viewpoint?
So Govind, I feel developers who are doing significant scale and size, let's say Godrej, Prestige or Rustomji or anyone who's doing a scalable business model in Mumbai, will definitely want to have his post-sales experience center control.
Got it.
Because of the common areas, amenities, what they're making, they want it to be maintained also in the same way. Create a culture of how people should see it. Like today, you go to a Loda Park or any other place, you see the common areas are maintained to the T as if it was a brand new building which was just made a year ago.
True.
So in that, I feel companies who have a volume and a continuous business can take care of that. But the flip side to it is also with the first option, when you hand over the societies in the name for the societies or a condominiums to maintain it, they sometimes don't prefer the intervention of the developer. They want to have better agencies, cheaper agencies, more economical, price sensitivity. Why developer is charging more? Because they want it to be pocket friendly, etc. So it all matters what is the rule book you're controlling as a developer. One. Two is if it's done with a motive to make money as a thing, then that will not work.
Got it.
If it's done with a motive to continue your brand as a great community, that after 25 years also my building looks sexy. It's again got the vibe. It's feeling that it's just a 5-year-old building. Like Niranjan sir says, the paint in my building, I did recently a building got repainted after 25 years. So again, you see, if that kind of a vibe is the answer, that my building is the building of that area which I've made after a decade or two also, then that's the answer. You have your own team.
Got it.
Part two is today there is companies like Sila, Knight Frank and multiple JLL, etc., which do lot of facility management for top developers, including Oberoi and many companies.
Of course.
I think that model is also very good because in the first 3 months, 4 months, a developer gets free from one project. He can move to the next. And it's especially very good workable for small and medium developers who don't want to have too much of fixed cost. Because this is not a revenue center. It's a cost center. So again, someone who does not have longevity in business in terms of a good volume, then they can rely with these agencies. They can do a contract with them for a year. In that 1 year, all the snagging, de-snagging of handover is done. Society comes into action and society takes a decision whether they want to continue this or they want to go ahead with another agency. So it is again a priority. There's no fixed rule book that this is right or this is wrong. But I'm a believer that as Paradigm, if I would put it, I would like to maintain for a year. After that, I don't want to impose myself on the society. I have a handover manual. All the agencies who are giving warranty guarantee for the product, they are there. After that, society manages in the perfect way.
Yeah.
Whatever defect liability I've committed with terms of my contractual obligation as per RERA,
Yeah.
we stand to be liable. After that, they should have the choice to do things their way. I would choose that path.
Got your point. And thanks for being so honest and frank. Now I'm going to come to a very important questions pertaining to sales and marketing. You have witnessed it yourself, and we have seen it as well. Post 2017, we have seen a trend of the sales being outsourced to the mandate companies, right? There are many companies who have done great work.
Yeah.
And somewhere or the other, there's always a dialogue that the mandate companies are eventually relying upon the brokers itself. Brokers were selling before as well. So where do you stand? Where do you see? How do you see it? The future largely. Current trend also, you can tell that the mandate companies are really playing a role. Do they have a narrative this category will sustain? And where are brokers in this? Should they just scale themselves up, associate with developers directly? They themselves should become mandate companies. Where do you believe this whole clutter is going to go? And how important is a broker narrative into Paradigm journey or the fraternity? How do you look at them?
So I feel a role of brokers cannot be disregarded.
Okay.
At Paradigm also 80% of our sale happens to brokers.
Got it.
Even if there are some digital sales happening, etc., we don't demotivate brokers.
Sure.
We keep them happy.
Yeah.
We keep them aligned with us because they are the guys who actually do all your major convincing as an unbiased party and get the buyer to you. So we keep brokers aligned with us. Now with your question regarding mandate companies, now mandate companies took a lot of flavor from late 2018s.
Yeah.
Xanadu, Xanarox, Guardians, a lot of these agencies took a flavor.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you, there is no right or wrong again here.
Got it.
Let's put it into two buckets. I'm a small developer. I don't want to have a big fixed cost.
Yeah.
I don't want to have too many agencies to coordinate, too much marketing, too much micromanaging, etc. I appoint a broker, a mandate company. I give them an incremental percent or 2% or 3% over and above normal brokerage.
Got it.
I factor that in my business plan.
Okay.
And I just have two people from my company coordinating the event, but I don't have to recruit 50, 100 people.
Got your point.
So fixed cost low, outsource, sales happening.
Yeah.
You are doing your 1-2 projects properly.
Yeah.
And after that, your CRM team or whoever collections control, after those 3, 4, 5, 6 months, that broker agency goes away.
Sure.
Part 2, if you are doing volume work, if you have a longevity of business where you have repeated projects coming in a micro market or area, I would highly recommend have your own team, because sales is something which is not a one-time affair. We are selling and going.
Yeah.
Sustainability of sales along with the commitment made at the time of sales is very different from what your own employee makes versus an outsider makes. So my logic is that a own employee makes, it's a company's commitment, and it'll know throughout the chain of the company what are the commitments, and there will be a continuation of information within the system.
Yeah.
Where what is committed, what is not committed will be known. Outside agency will sell for the sell of selling and will go away.
Yeah.
Then malum nahi padega. And that time I cannot open the agreement and say ke it's not part of your agreement, but तुम्हारे sales वाले ने commit किया था.
Got your point.
So we take that very personally that if our sales guy has committed something, it's our company's commitment. We have to give it, even if it's not written in the agreement. So few things as a value system of your organization beyond sales can only happen if that guy is part of the organization who treats company as his own organization and work.
Yeah.
A mandate company, the same guy is selling for 4 developers with every quarter. So there is no wavelength or EQ with the organization and its commitments.
True, sir.
Nevertheless, there are minuses also. We have a big sourcing problem of people.
Yeah.
We have an attrition problem.
Yeah.
We have a motivation of team problem. People nowadays in sales and marketing, I say, want to not even play a 50 over inning. They want to play 20-20.
Yeah.
Where every year they want some fancy packets. And I've come across so many people, they again come back to our company saying, no, we want to come here because there's stability.
Yeah.
So when market is good, everyone wants increments and kind of bonuses which are unheard. And we realize we cannot pay them. So we let them go with all blessings and good wishes. But when moment things go south, they realize it's better to be with a company who's taken care of me through thick and thin, and there is loyalty and there is respect. So I think it's a balance which we are going to face in our industry as when the markets are good. Yeah. But again, if you have volume business, if you have a kind of a reputation to manage as a brand for many years, the only way to success is your own sales team, your own CRM team, and your own culture system and
Got
your
it.
value system.
Got it.
If you want to quickly sell, just do 1 or 2 projects, not have too much fixed cost, not be in a headache of managing too much, speak to one centralized agency, then mandate is your way. Either of the two things, one thing which is going to be very cyclosine and common is how your sub brokers are treated.
Yeah.
So today's time, developers who are going to pay timely brokerage,
Yeah.
give them enough respect, not worry about small things that a customer comes directly, I'll save 1% here or there. Look at the big picture.
Got it.
And keep good brokers aligned, because those brokers have 10 developers.
Yeah.
You have only those 10 performing brokers who can get clients to your table.
True
So
that.
it's important you keep them aligned. They should understand your value system.
Yeah.
And you should also ensure that you take care of them the way you would take care of your employees.
Sure.
And I think that's important for any organization who again wants to remain relevant.
And where do you stand there then?
We've been in both the sides. So
Okay.
we've done mandate works with top agencies of the city.
Sure.
When starting, so typically Paradigm has larger projects which have 500-600 apartments at a launch. So we technically in 2020-21 post, like we had one of our projects, which was the first project which fortunately you had designed for us the entire creative campaign for
Yeah.
Paradigm Antalya
Yeah.
at a 102 Township, 10
Yeah.
acres at Oshiwara. So we did in the first 2 months 550 flats sale. We were 90% sold. It was the first launch after COVID. We didn't know how things would work.
Yeah.
We wanted to be insured. We wanted to have a mandate agency with us who would do the distribution.
Of course.
And we got great sales.
Super.
Other projects, we've not had mandates.
Sure.
We felt we don't need so much sale day one.
Okay.
We're happy to do a gradual sustained sale over a period of 3 years,
Yeah.
where we get a good average of the project pricing also.
Yeah.
We get relative payment cash flows coming in duration also. And we wanted to sell in a manner where any cost escalations happen, we have enough stock unsold also
Yeah.
during completion so that we can cover up our cost rise.
Of course.
So then we had our own company, so own sales team
Own
working. So today at Paradigm, we have about 90 to 100 people in sales, CRM and marketing vertical and
Super.
pre-sales vertical. And we've divided into sourcing, closing team, etc.
And
all
there's
those
spread over
things.
6 projects as of now.
Yeah, about 5 to 6 projects. Yeah.
Super. Oh, that's really insightful. And now when we're speaking, one of the important things that struck me, many developers have spoken to about you. They've always said कि यार ये पार्थ है ना JV बहुत करता है इसलिए इतना कुछ कर लेता है, right? Could you tell our audience how does the whole JV affair go? I know when I came to Bombay, I knew at that point of time big brands like DLF trying to enter into Bombay, and they really had to go. Then I saw a Kumar developer from Pune trying to make a inroad here. They suffered, and when I grew into the business, I realized that it is the land parcel, the licensing, and all those things are a huge task, right? Is it the reason that you choose licensing, the cost at the start, to do JVs? What are the other benefits of JVs? Why and how should one go about when they are coming out as a developer? What are the things to take care of while forging a JV as well? Could you just elaborate this a little bit? Because I know that you managing some of the best JVs into the business. And, I know that you also spoke that, yeah, partnership कर रहे हैं, तो it is not about कि इसके साथ क्या हम लोग को सबको ownership लेनी है. And from that mindset you are coming. So please tell us and our audiences that what is the fundamental behind it?
So Govind, as an organization, we understood one thing, that we want to be frugal in terms of capital overloading as a debt.
True that.
So any land you buy in Bombay, you
Yeah.
have a big upfront payment that goes up.
True.
So it kills your bottom line.
True.
2, any variability or any external factors can really dampen your business plan.
Sure.
And 3, and the most important, Bombay does not have too much land.
Land.
It's a scarce area of land,
True.
where either some developer or society or slum encroaches certain land,
Sure.
where collaboration is the way forward.
True that.
Now, when I say JV, joint development, development management, we've done over 8-10 of them and successfully completed every project, with each one having its own experience, but still delivered what we promised. In that whole paradigm, I've learned 2 things.
Yeah.
That if you have clarity with your partner,
Yeah.
with what are his expectations, his accountability, his ownership and his role, versus your accountability, your deliverables, your ownership and your role,
Got it.
it's much easier to do JV.
Okay.
2, I believe in one thing, that you can change the title of a plot by with the legal due diligence and technical due diligence. You can't change the title of a partner. So
Yeah.
be very, very cautious with whom you're in bed with. So
Do
that
you guys draft something in detail? Like, me and my founding partner, like, we have a 28-page founder agreement between us.
Yes.
Right. So, which takes care of everything in the future. I've known him for 14, 15 years and he's my partner. I'm proud. Like, usually he doesn't come out too much into the face. But when you guys get into this kind of JVs, it would be scary, right? If something goes wrong to the other side, how do you manage all of it?
See, this culture has also come in after 2016, 17.
Okay.
So it's been an evolving culture.
Yeah.
So our industry is very small.
Yeah.
Any two developers also have a certain SAR experience. We all learn from that what went wrong, what must have gone wrong. It's easy to get documents. So we try and keep it simple where, as at Paradigm, let me put it other way, is I only work with partners whose office I can enter in 24 hours and my office he can come in 24 hours.
Got it.
Number two, I work with my partner A, who respects that on a good, bad, ugly day, a customer, banker, broker, and a vendor comes to Paradigm office and I should have all the answers. If I don't have all the answers and freedom, I will not do the business.
Got it.
Three, we've set our rule book that we don't want to get into partnerships in future where we have to do an accounting.
Sure.
Either it's a revenue share or it's a profit share or it's a clear-cut demarcation of roles and responsibility.
Sure.
But we want to have all the accountability because our name is on the line.
Yeah.
Customers buying us out.
Yeah.
We had few experiences in the past where we realized that two people cannot drive a car.
True.
Two pilots cannot fly a jet.
True that.
It's eventually one ass, one hook who has to have complete accountability.
Super.
And with our experiences, we devised how we want to do collaboration.
Got it.
So Govind, धंधा वही है.
Yeah.
But JV का तरीका अलग किया है. So I believe that you have to do business where on a good, bad, ugly day, delivery of the project is not stuck.
Yeah.
Your obligations towards government is not stuck. Your commitment towards your customer is not stuck.
Yeah.
Your obligations towards the financial institution whom you have taken working capital and debt, which every project requires, is not stuck. If you don't like my face, I don't like your face, we should have a prenup ready.
Of course.
But only after the project is delivered.
Got it.
Because as a creator or a developer, you're only buying liabilities.
Yeah.
The liabilities turn into opportunities and profits only when it's delivered.
True that.
Until then, it's a prepaid card. You have to be accountable because you're dealing with external parties' funds. So any two partners' ego, working relation difference, or any kind of wavelength or frequency mismatch cannot percolate till the project is not delivered.
Yeah.
So when you saw that a lot of projects were stuck, 50% was stuck because of poor financial management, 50% was stuck because of partner relationship or promoters having disputes.
Yeah.
So if with so many things, if today people are matured enough to understand what are the exit routes, how the working is done. So if you are clear about how business is to be done, like for example, now in Paradigm 2.0, we are very clear that we deal with partners in a simple format that boss, we are constructing, we are selling, we are building, we are closing. Any understanding is that you take an area, revenue or profits, which will come to you as per the prescribed documentation. However, we want to have all the accountability because our name is on the line. And now as the company grows, our reputation is far more important than a single project's failure. Because one project goes south, and as a company, we come out, you go back 10 years.
Of course.
It's easy to say that you're doing so much work, but if one relationship doesn't work with a partner, the implication and the repercussions on the organization as a whole and the dent on the reputation is far higher.
Of course, yes. So that was quite insightful. I have a personal question, like for I want to get some learning. आपने पहले कहा था that struck me, 11 feet height is what you're giving to the customers.
Not all projects, projects which are little mid luxury.
Fair.
And somewhere where it is between, let's say 3 crores to 5 crores. Yeah.
Got it. So in those projects, do the customers understand that because you're giving 1 feet extra on the top, that would mean there will be less number of floors. There would be less number of apartments sold. There would be less number of money made to the developer, and that premium can get loaded to the customers. Do they come to and they say कि यार Parth ये तो 700 स्क्वायर फीट ही है 1000 स्क्वायर फीट ही है बाजू वाला भी दे रहा है उसका रेट तो थोड़ा सा कम है तेरे से एंड वो 1 फीट का जो डिफरेंस होगा आपके ओवरऑल प्रोजेक्ट लेआउट में do they understand it?
So I'll tell you, lot of people understand, but they still want a top dollar bargain.
Got it.
So वो था ना सस्ता मिलना बर्थ राइट है.
Yeah.
तो किसी को राइट प्राइस उसकी वैल्यू नहीं करनी है. So I put it like that you are giving someone a bargain in which either it helps your velocity, it helps the product posturing, and even if 20-30% of the balance stock you get a premium when it is built, it gets covered.
True.
But I'll put it more importantly, it's a satisfaction that you made a good
It's
product.
good product.
So it is for me when I make an external columns, I make flat slab.
Yeah.
We make buildings which two flats can become ideal jodis, where toilets can increase in size, kitchen can increase in size, your ventilation is there.
Yeah.
It's even if it's a jodi, nobody can say it's a compromising jodi.
Got it.
Where you don't see any beams floating in your living room,
Got
where
it.
you have a window which is instead of 7 feet, maybe 9 feet. So
Got it.
these small things that you are doing, it
They
gives
add
you satisfaction.
True.
And I'm a believer that it will not pay us immediately, but it will pay us eventually.
Because the people will definitely remember.
For sure.
Okay, so now coming to a very fast section where it's a series of 3, right? So I'm going to ask a few questions. You have to tell 1, 2, 3.
Done.
What is your choices? Okay. If I have to tell you 3 real estate developers in India that you admire the most, who are those 3 people?
I admire Oberoi Realty,
Okay.
Loda,
Yeah.
and in a private segment, I'll put it 4,
Yeah.
Oberoi, Loda, Rustamji, and 4th will be Lotus Developers, who's on a smaller developer boutique
Okay.
developer
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. Okay. Great. And 3 people from the industry. They could be from ancillaries as well, architects as well. 3 people that you really admire in the industry.
So I've really admire as someone who's had a balance of creation versus someone who's been a visionary and delivered also.
Yeah.
I'll call it my mentor, my dear friend Baman Irani Rustamji,
Sure.
whom I feel has been a great visionary.
Sure.
I would call Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani as usual for any young developer. He's seen the way he's created what he has created,
No doubt.
and I would love it as third one as Mr. Sanjay Chabria from Radius.
Sure.
Of course, now his company had some difficult times,
Yeah.
but as a visionary and creator, he's done one of the most marquee projects in BKC, and what he's done with Vadwa developers.
True.
He's indeed made a lot of dent in the way Mumbai skyline worked.
And who's your favorite architect from India?
So, Indian favorite architect, I have a lot of affection towards Mr. Reza Kabul.
Okay.
I work very closely with architect Reza Kabul,
Got it.
and I admire Hafiz sir also immensely.
Of course.
But I'm doing more business with Mr. Reza Kabul.
Okay. So 3 locations in India where will you park your money from pure investment perspective, and that is not to be MMR like the typically Western Central Belt के अलावा इंडिया में ऐसे कौन से 3 लोकेशन है where you believe that 1 crore है पार्क कर देते हैं ROI आएगा 10 साल में?
I'm very bullish on Hyderabad. I
Yeah.
feel Hyderabad the way it is positioned has still a lot of potential of upside, and people who have deep pockets and kind of a sense towards value.
Yeah.
I mean, I was astonished to see 15,000 square feet apartment selling off in one day in Hyderabad.
It is.
And
It's a mad
it's,
market.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I feel the potential and understanding and appreciating good real estate is there in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Second, I'm again bullish about Noida.
Okay.
When Noida, Gurgaon, also the way the city is moving up, though we
Because of the
don't,
new airport and everything
Exactly.
coming in. Yeah.
so though we don't intend to grow there as a developer
Of course.
to expand, but still appreciate that as a market.
Got it.
And in MMR, I'm again very, very bullish towards my area of Kandivali, Borivali,
Okay.
which I feel if a Mahalakshmi, Worli, Prabhadevi can be 80,000 to 1,20,000, in next 3 years, you'll see products selling at 70, 80,000 in this location also.
What are you saying?
Because a Gujarati guy will not, even if you give a product at half the price, will not go to a Worli, Prabhadevi or a Bandra, but he wants to be in his own home pitch area
Yeah.
where the kind of 5 years businesses have done, share market, what money people have made,
Yeah.
the way retail businesses has gone up. So today also good building product prices are upwards of 45, 50,000 in that area. So
Got it.
I feel that market for a quality product has a potential to get the premium.
Superb. And which is a technology company that you admire the most from India currently?
So
In the prop tech or real estate space?
yeah, so I'll put it into 2 parts. We are doing business with Salesforce now. We're implementing that in our
Fair.
system. So it's got our business a lot automated and in terms of system driven. Again, in the prop tech space, I'm very happy with what you are doing. Not because you have called me on your podcast, but I'm very happy with the enthusiasm of the youth that Insomniac has, and the kind of dent you're trying to create. Because when I met you over the last 5 years also,
Yeah.
you were always clear that I'm not only a marketing or a creative company who does collaterals, but as a company, we are doing much more than that. And the kind of digital revolution
Yeah.
you were doing and the kind of narrative you were setting on street post-COVID, I was highly impressed, and I was very happy to see the setup and the kind of fixed cost also a person being a marketing agency is incurring is only because a person carries a vision and sees how India is going to work in 2030. If a person carries that vision, then only a marketing agency can be a size of a 350 plus people. So of course your company.
Okay, thanks a ton. I was not expecting. Yeah, but yeah, one thing.
It was candid, and just to put it on record, Govind hasn't told me to tell you that. I'm talking from my heart.
No, now that we've spoken, rest assured, one thing we're very clear that, the communication is gonna have a distal and technology play, right? So communication is a right brain play, has to be mixed with the left brain of understanding distal and adding technology for the data, for all seamless, exercises around it. And that's one thing that at one point of time we had it as a hunch. Now I believe it is now proven as well. So we are trying to make the best that we can.
True.
Okay. So now comes my last and the most important question of the podcast. Anybody who's there in your space, there are so many audiences that we may have. I'm pretty sure you're inspiring a lot of them. How do you build an institution in real estate space for the sort or the kind that you've already created? If somebody else wants to do something on the similar lines, how should one go about it?
So I will first say, what's your passion like has to come in. B, it's not only passion or dreams that get you to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Are you willing to put the hustle?
Yeah.
Take the rejections, take the sleepless nights by your stride? Do you have the mettle to withstand and come to that brim that I'm not going to make it?
Yeah.
And still show up the next day and do what you were doing, or maybe do it better. So I'll say that if that courage, zeal, ability to take rejection, and when you're pushed against the wall to try and do everything that is in your stride, if that is there, then this business is the most beautiful business which you can come in.
Okay.
1. 2, I'm a believer that someone who has a knack of taking slight risk, but still breaking those risks into what can go wrong.
Yeah.
And if he cannot go completely south,
yeah,
and if he feels that he has enough dry powder to remain relevant and afloat, I think you should take a leap of faith.
Got it.
Because next 7-8 years are ours. Third, it'll be very important that today's time alone, like as the phrase says, that alone you can go fast and together you can go far.
Yeah.
It's no more a 1-man or a 5-man army team.
Yeah.
Creating a team, motivating a team, getting a team who's having a shared vision, and ensuring that you're continuously backing them up, good, bad, ugly days, is going to be the patience you have to live with and the vision you're going to carry with.
Sure.
So if you're going to not be able to afford a big team or a able team who are smarter than you, then entrepreneurship is not your job.
Okay.
And last, I will say that I've learned in my business, and I've learned it hard way, that big enterprises have not gone south or gone bankrupt because of profitability of businesses or the net worth of the business.
Sure.
It's because of poor cash flow planning.
Of course.
So how you have your financial acumen that you're going to maintain cash flows. We've also kind of many times in our projects not made money but remain cash flow positive. So is that if you have that metal that I don't have a transactional approach, but I have a long-term approach. Like I said, that the first 7-8 projects of Paradigm, we didn't make money.
Yeah.
Now we know that what we don't want to do, and we are on the path of trying to have minimum margins also done, as well as reach finishing line on time. So if that patience you don't have of giving your business a good 10 to 15 year window, I don't think you can make big. And last thing I will say, that the way India is moving, corporates are the future. Everything is going to lie down to the big boys who are going to come in.
Yeah.
So either you're the big, you're the best, or you're not there.
Super. So ये जो बंदों ने सुना, उनका एक क्वेश्चन आता है साथ में, मैं इसके साथ एंड करना चाहूंगा.
Sure.
रियल स्टेट में यार काम करने के लिए पार्ट से हम इंस्पायर तो हो गए, बट देन थिक स्किन बनते बनते एक और चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है जिसके लिए लोगों को कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं होता. Is there corruption in real estate that happens that you have to take care of from the government bodies at a very large level, which can become problematic for a young guy to dream big? Do you think it's a barrier? Do you think it exists? What's your take? And honest, how much ever that you can. I would love to hear the perspective, because the audience would be trying to know as well. कितना गट रखना है?
I'm trying to be as low on diplomacy as I can.
Fair.
But I can say one thing. You have to factor certain things in your business plan.
Sure.
and not weigh things on a relative basis.
Sure.
कि यार ये क्यों इतना कम है या ज़्यादा है.
Yeah.
Put it in your business plan.
Sure.
Some things are law of land.
Yeah.
We work in an economy which works little differently compared to other economies.
Yeah.
And I would not say only real estate. वो तो हर business में हर जगह पे
Sure.
है ही कोई ना कोई तरीके से.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, that I can promise one thing, that whether this government and our system that is there is pro-development.
Got it.
I won't call it pro-developer or a pro-business. They're
Yeah.
pro-development.
Got it.
So I won't say कि कोई तुम्हारा काम अटका देता है.
Yeah.
But you have to be flexible.
Got it.
You have to be accommodative. You have to look at your big picture.
Got it.
You have to be penny wise, pound foolish. You
Yeah.
can't be.
Yeah.
And you have to have the metal to let go of things.
Sure.
So I'm a believer of not procrastinating anything. जो कल है वो आज है सो अभी. You have to bite the bullet, move forward. But
Super.
if the forward is the way, then these are the very few ancillary things which come by your way.
Superb. Okay. So, Parth, thanks a ton for being so candid on the last question and in the overall engagement that we did today. There's a lot that I learned. And of course, I've seen the journey of yours. It's really admiring, as I spoke at the start. And most important, I'm looking forward to your next 10 years. All right. And I'm pretty sure we will be doing more such content in the future as well. But I'm pretty sure for the audiences that I know, that I've seen the quality and the passion with which you're operating. And I truly admire it. And I know a lot many people in the industry and the customers who have shown the similar admiration. I wish you total luck. Keep pushing the bar. Keep inspiring us. And to the audience, that was it for today. And thanks a lot, Parth, for joining in. We will be live with this episode. I'm pretty sure it will inspire a lot many people.
Thank you for having me, Govind. And it was an absolute pleasure being as candid I could be. I hope I could share whatever was under my sleeve to all the audience that we had. And wishing everybody a good luck and keep rocking.
Superb. Thank you.